It's called Getaway, as in literally get away from it all. Set deep in the woods of New England are cabins so tiny that they're almost easy to miss. And that's kind of the point.
The idea is that you go to a getaway and you do nothing at all. So people write to us and they say, what's nearby? What can we do? And we say, we could tell you, but we won't. And we say instead, why don't you get there and see what you want to do and what you feel like.
John Staff started Getaway with the overworked urban dweller in mind, who needs to escape the city for a night or two without the hassle of planning and spending a lot of money to do it. Getaway also wants to evoke a sense of adventure on these trips.
We don't reveal where you're going until 24 hours before you go. And the idea behind that is that we actually want to actively prevent you from going online and planning out your weekend minute by minute.
And true to form, I didn't know where I was going until the day before. And in keeping with the spirit of adventure, I won't tell you either. But I can tell you that it took a little over 2 hours with traffic to get to this small idyllic town in New England. I've finally made it to and I can assure you that it is in the middle of nowhere.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to one of our tiny cabins.
Thank you. Wow. This is tiny.
It is tiny.
And that wraps up the tour. Jokes aside, the tiny cabin lives up to its name. It's 160 square feet, fit to sleep 4, and equipped with a tiny propane stove, a tiny shower, and what may be the world's tiniest fireplace. They also want our footprint to be as tiny as possible, hence the composting toilet with instructions. It has everything you need to live pretty comfortably for a couple days. What is missing is an internet connection and a strong cell phone signal. And that's the point.
People say it was hard to be away from Wi-Fi, to be away from my email, but then after a few hours, I felt completely different and I felt recharged.
Getaway plans on branching out beyond New England and the woods. Back at the Harvard Innovation Lab, CEO John Staff says Getaway's plan is to take these tiny homes into cities.
We have a dream that we can bring tiny houses into the city and capture some of this idea that we should be living our lives experientially rather than around stuff. You already have, billions more people moving into cities over the coming decades, and we need to react to that. There's a density and an affordability problem.
With one-bedroom apartments renting for upwards of $1,900 a month in Boston, population density and affordability could be the strongest argument made for living in 160 square feet.
The tiny houses would be designed to the neighborhood. They would be there permanently, most likely, and they'd all match. And so you get this integrated experience there and have this sort of different lifestyle that's maximized around experiences rather than things.
Changing the city landscape one tiny house at a time. Something to think about while walking in the woods.